Hello future tech leaders, I am Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. A cloud foundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
Then we are talking about transformations. You can see business entity to view, view to business entity to business entity, XML to business entity. We have to go ahead and create for this one. Over here we use view. Groups are utilized for one-to-many, for one-to-one sections. The transformation section is utilized to set up the mapping. We want to have a pass-through or a cleans. If you select cleans, then you have to select the cleans library. Then you have to select the function which you want to utilize, and accordingly here, all the things will work. And we set direct input and output fields will be coming like this. Your input fields will be coming from this source. You can see at this line 1, this is from business entity. Select the business entity view. You will see less number of attributes. You can select the ones over here first. And then exact same attributes you will be selecting over here. Any wrong mapping over here will push the data or get the data wrong. Any data which you are getting wrong on UI, first thing to check is if the transformations are correct. Your transformation is not correct, then you are writing the data or reading the data may affect accordingly. All the direct comes into one place, whereas all the cleans function will go separately. Over here, we'll go ahead and create a direct. Because for the registry ID, I will be going ahead and creating it in business entity to business entity. Because that particular registry ID will be only updated or created once. Otherwise, if there would be any updates later on, only at that time the validation needs to be checked. Otherwise, it needs to be over here itself. In business entity now, in search view, we only create a rate type transformation. We do not create a write type. Because For search results, it will only showcase the result. It will not let you update any record. For updating a record, you need a layout. For all the layout views, you need both read as well as write. But for search, we only create read. For business entity, we'll go ahead, create for business entity party. We'll say party transformation and we'll go ahead and use the transformation as cleans for registry ID. Now in registry ID validation, you'll see these are the two output parameters. Over here we'll say registry ID. If there would be any updates which will be coming up, then this transformation will go over here and get invoked. Otherwise, it will not get invoked. Output will be registry ID. Where is your validation status? This will be going over here. Unless and until it's null, it will not go ahead and give us any issue. But if it is an issue, then there will be an error which will be populated. That is why an extra attribute is needed for to showcase the error. And that same attribute will be utilized over here. You can say modeling and transformation. This is almost 45% of traditional tool. It might be a little bit more, but it is not less. If you know what all things are there in modeling and why do we create them, in which situation we go ahead and create what all things. These are at least 45% of the provisioning tool. Then what we have to create next after these things is application. When you go into E360, you need at least one application to be there that you can utilize that. To use the configuration which all is being utilized. How to create an application? Go into the configuration application editor. I have created over here. I can go ahead and create it again. Issues, yes. We'll go ahead create. You can say it's a party one. Party application. This with source system do you want to use? Any sources which you are utilizing will be utilized as if I use admin. Any updates whichever I will be doing from the UI will be going as system 0, as system, as the provider system or the source system value. This is default record views. What does that mean? If I have not created any layouts, then the default layout from the Informatica itself will be utilized. Any smart search and the queries. This query and dialog box. This is utilized when we have to go ahead and create. The lookup attributes into base objects if the record count is more to search the records. And over here, I can utilize the party. Only party app. In the party application only, what I will be seeing is party. If I go ahead, create one more for hierarchy. Let's say for organization. And use, let's say, admin, all these three. I create that. And I will use business entities, all the business entities which are there. If you are not creating any kind of business entities over here, that means all the business entities will be showcased. It will not let any other business entity that it will not show. But if you are configuring any business entities which needs to be over here, then only those business entities will be showcased. Now you are talking about search configuration which we created. In the search configuration, we go ahead and create. We have to select the business entity. Business entity is not coming up over here. Select business entity. I got that. Unless and until the search configuration is not coming correctly. Then to enter it. If we go ahead and create, let's say, two different business entities, then only the search configuration will showcase us. Which particular business? Why it is not showcasing me the business entity? The search configuration is not enabled or what? I have to check this particular part with the team. That's why we are not seeing this. Is the configuration correct at the backend or not? Because unless and until we can see the business entities over here, then that particular business entity will have a search configuration. We select. That's one. We'll go ahead and select the search configuration. That search configuration will utilize the view which we have created. Once those are being set up, then we can go ahead and utilize the E360. And when we want to utilize the E360, we need to make sure that we have our cached, which is cleaned up. That's why we use incognito, because it doesn't store any cache. I'll just showcase you. Those two applications which we just created is over here. It is showcasing the default one. We'll go ahead into party because there is no label and it is just giving us that. You can see over here, party has came in. If you want to search any record over there, this is something which is not coming directly. We have to search the records. Business entity is party for us. We want to use the registry ID and let's say first name. This we want to save. This query can be saved accordingly. And the query, if I say share with all, it becomes public. If I want to save for all or share for all, only I can see this. We'll say save for all. Now, when I go back to queries, I can see my query which has already been created. You can see back and see for the party entity. I have one single query which is created. You can run. And all the data which is there in the base object will be showcased. If I want to see any record, I just double click that. Or I can go ahead and click on this one. Show the precode. And over here, open in a window or in a record detail. Or if I need to see the hierarchy, if I need to see the network diagram directly, double click will showcase us the default views which are being clicked up or which are there. From default Informatic views. If I would go ahead and see matching records, if there would be any matching records, then it will showcase me that part. There are no matching records. All the cross-reference records if I want to go ahead and see. Overview is for main. Interest will be for the interest data. If I want to see the history records, if there is any hierarchy which has been placed up, if there is no hierarchy, it would be blank. For network, it will be show as blank. There is nothing. I went into parties. Over here, the main bad thing about this is you cannot go ahead and reselect the application, as you can go ahead and select in Hub Console the CMX, ORS or anything. For going ahead and selecting the other application, you have to log out and log back in. Because for this particular home page, there is no page or anything which has been set. We will go into queries. I think somebody else is also going ahead and creating something in this CMX OS. They have created another one. No idea. Who is utilizing this? You can see the data which is coming in from our manager and all. We went with team leader. We just go with first name and employee code. We just run the data. We don't want to save it. And I just want to go ahead and see the hierarchies over here. And the hierarchy page will be showcased. And the hierarchy will be coming up accordingly. This is the tree structure which it will go ahead and showcase us. What is the record? This is a quick view of the record data. Over here we have created. This is a quick view of what all data is there. In the network diagram, there is no network diagram which is being created for all the relationship. If we want to go ahead and select all the data, then we can see all the data which is created. There is nothing. If there is anything, then we can go ahead and open up. This is what network diagram means. These are all what we just created now. And we are utilizing the default view. In the party, let's say any data which we are seeing over here. We have staging party data. We just have any data which is their first name. Let's say we just save it. I say oh hope. Just over here. And we'll just say the data which we went with was first name. Any data which is having a hope will be showcased. If there are none, then it will not say anything. If you want to have anything which is coming up afterwards, you just go ahead with star sign and we'll just say search. If there are any wild parts, which will be there? Let's say we go ahead and use will. Then from the party, that is not it. Did we went with last name. Check that. But until we go ahead and create the index, we will not see any result. How we can see that will go over here in the network. We'll search it. Just going in. It is having 500 internal letters. Why it is coming as 500 internal letters? Because inks, we have not gone ahead and cleaned it. How do we go ahead and create that? We'll just go into that viewer. For party table, we'll go into initial index smart search. We execute the batch. Go ahead and create the index for that particular. I got faulted. Last, its cluster is not being configured. Cluster, we have to go outside. Ask my team to configure the Elasticsearch cluster as well. Done over here. Certain number of things which will be just going through. Some of the things will be for admin people. The configuration. We'll go into infrastructure setting and infrastructure setting. There is cluster index and cluster. The cluster. We have to go ahead and set the load for. It is something which needs to be created. Yes, no, this is no, should be somewhere. We don't have that. This thing is needed to be set up by the people. I don't have the configuration for the elastic cluster. If I just go ahead and remove this, all the parts which we were seeing over here, these all will not be showcased to us. You can see that there is no system attributes which are being showcased over here. All the system attributes will not be showcased unless and until we go ahead and create layout. And over there, we go ahead and push those attributes over there. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.